All right, now listen. This past week or last week or the week before, whatever, one of those damn weeks, the show Snowfall came to an end. It was a series finale, and I'm not gonna lie to you, it is by far, it is up there with the Sopranos finale. It is up there with like Jerry Seinfeld's finale, even though that's a comedy, and there has nobody was pushing coke on Seinfeld. But I mean, just as far as like series finales go, I mean, it's up there with the Shields finale. I mean, it's up there with Son of Aaron. You see where I'm going with this. It was just a phenomenal series finale. And it was also heartbreaking too. So, of course, me, because I like to compare everything, I'm like, I wonder if Snowfall was better than The Wire. I don't know, but let's break it down. So I broke it down 6 categories to see which one was better. Snowfall or The Wire. So I broke it down to the best dope fiend. I broke it down to the best sidekick. I broke it down to the best, worst law enforcement agents. You know what I mean? I broke it down to the season finale, and I broke it down to the best kingpin. And then the last one is who had the most cultural impact. So that's 6. You see my fingers was counting because I get confused. All right, let's go with the best dope fiend. All right, so this is between Bubs and Wanda. Now listen. If you know anything about Bubs, you know Bubs was the ultimate snitch. You know what I mean? Don't do nothing around Bubs, bro. He's going to tell on you. You know what I mean? But he was a pure dope fiend. But a dope fiend with a good heart. Bubs will look out for you. If you're a little younger than Bubs and you came to the hood and he seen, you know what I mean? You ran in the same tribe. Hold on. Bubs will put his arms around you and try to school you to the game of life, the game on the streets of Baltimore. He did it with White Boy Johnny. He did it with the young boy later on in the series. So Buzz was a good dude. You know what I mean? He really was. Buzz was also a hustler too, man. You know what I mean? Buzz would sell you some T-shirts. You know what I mean? So Bub wasn't always a handout type of guy. Nah, Bubs got high, but he was going to get his bread. You know what I mean? Yeah, he might steal some copper, do some wild shit, but Bubs was going to get his bread, man. So, Bubs was the ultimate hustler. Now, Wanda started out as a good girl, you know what I mean? But mind you, Snowfall takes place in the 80s, you know what I mean? So, unfortunately, like a lot of people back then who started off and going to school, getting good grades, so on and so forth, Wanda got hooked to crack. So Wanda went from like the prettiest thing. That's Leon's girlfriend if you follow the show. She went from the prettiest thing to like pure on out crack fiend, you know what I mean? And it broke everybody in her circle heart because they all loved Wanda, you know what I mean? But Wanda was going through some struggle and she was going through a hard time. So now, Wanda and Bubs, the things they both have in common is their comeback story. Now, Bubs in The Wire, he came back because, and by the way, if you haven't watched any of these shows, all this stuff is spoiler alerts, so it is what it is. Bubs made him. Bubs had fixed he had cooked a concoction because he was getting his ass beat in the hood, and he fixed some dope. So every time the guy who used to beat him up used to go and steal his dope, Bubs was like, all right, I got something for that ass. Next time you beat me up and you steal my dope, take this hot shot. And the guy was supposed to take the hot shot and die. That was Bubs' way of getting rid of his problem. Unfortunately, the young boy that Bubs was schooling to the game on the streets went inside Bub, because he was a fiend too, went inside Bub's pocket, took the hot shot and died. And that literally changed Bub's life. Bub's like, no, this ain't for me. He goes to rehab. He's having severe withdrawal. Long story short, by the end of the series, Bub's life changes. Wanda wanted to change her life. She goes to Africa. She sees there's more to life than the shit in South Central Los Angeles, which is where Snowfall takes place. And she also changes her life. So, with all that being said, if I had to go for who is the best dope fiend, Bubs or Wanda, I ain't gonna lie, man. This one is a draw because of where they started and where they finished. To me, it's 1-on-1. So we got one Snowfall, we got one Wire. All right, the best sidekick. Let's go with Uncle Jerome and Leon. Yo, Leon's a righteous brother, man. Yo, Leon is loyal to a fault. Leon is what a right hand is supposed to be. You know what I mean? Leon got your back. But what I do love about Leon will call you on your bullshit. Leon will tell you when it's wrong. Leon's not always going to be a yes man. We all need friends like Leon on our side. You know what I mean? Now, he ain't no punk. He ain't going to back down. But he's going to tell you, yo, man, this is wrong. He's like a gangster with a conscience. That's how I would describe Leon. Uncle Jerome, he got some severe problems, man. Uncle Jerome came back from the war. He's ready to sell coke. He got high. He got a jerry curl. He got high blood pressure. He look like he eat chitlins after he finished dealing. You know what I mean? Uncle Jerome is on one. Yo, he is ready. He is ready to beat that ass on any given time. Don't make Uncle Jerome mad, bro. You know what I mean? And when Uncle Jerome finished beating you up, bro, he would tell you, man, yo, you better teach your man how to squabble. You know what I mean? So Uncle Jerome is...
Go ahead and pick up your boy. Pick him up.
Teach your man how to squabble. Get that trigger next time, nigga.
These are good sidekicks, but they're going against Chris and Snoop from The Wire. Let me tell you something about Chris. Let's start with Snoop. Don't let the little mama fool you. Little Snoop would get on the back of a motorcycle, spray up the whole corner and keep it pushing, and then go get some crabs in Baltimore, some crab chips. Snoop is bad one. Snoop will go and ride with you and put bodies in the abandons. You know what I mean? Snoop is a shooter. Snoop is a killer. And Chris Barlow is the boogeyman. The whole hood knows about Chris, bro. Like literally the whole hood knows about Chris. Chris will put you in a vacant quicker than you can say boo. You know what I mean? And he'll board it up, and nobody will find your body for like months. Ask Big Kev. Big Kev went up in them. He didn't return. You know what I mean?
Chris, please, man.
Long good line, man.
No matter. You got vacants on both sides, so stinkers on. Chris, please. Don't fret, boss. I got you covered. Quick and clean, I promise.
You know what I mean? But Chris is also a good family man too. You know what I mean? And he's not scared to tell Marlo when something is right and something is wrong. He also is not a yes man. But if I had to choose between Leon and Uncle Jerome and Chris and Snoop from The Wire, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Yo, Chris and Snoop got this one by a landslide. So that's 2 for The Wire and that's 1 for Snowfall. Okay. Now let's go with the best worst law enforcement from each show. Now on The Wire side you got McNulty, and on Snowfall side you got Teddy. Okay, McNulty. Is McNulty crooked? No, he's not crooked. He's just an asshole. He's probably one of the biggest assholes in the police force. However, McNulty is like the big man would say, he makes good police. McNulty's just good police. But McNulty's problem is he's smarter than literally probably 95% of the people that he comes encounter with on the police force. So he knows better. You know what I mean? McNulty will dead ass railroad track you if it makes his case get in front and center. So that's the only thing about McNulty. Not crooked, but his case is going to be the priority. And if he got to backdoor you, McNulty's going to backdoor you. Plus, McNulty is known to be a drunk. He's known to be a womanizer. He lets his kids go on him when he's telling bad guys like Stringer Bell. Yo, it's all about the police work for McNulty. But he's not really, I guess, crooked in the sense of words. However, though, the last season of The Wire, him and Freeman made up a fake serial killer. You know what I mean? And said there was a serial killer running around town, raping and killing homeless men. Why did Freeman and McNulty do this? All because they can get funding to have a wiretap to go on and kingpin Marlo. So I ain't gonna lie, McNulty was on one, but was all for the betterment of the case. Now Teddy from Snowfall, Teddy's just a piece of shit. From the gate, yo, you can't get no more crooked than Teddy. Yo, Teddy works for the CIA, but I mean, does he really? Who knows? Because no one knows. You only see Teddy. You never see who Teddy really works for. It's all about Teddy, right? Teddy is like pure trash because Teddy done flooded the whole goddamn hood with cocaine. And we all know in the 80s, once that coke went into that hood and it transformed into crack, it was lights out. And Teddy don't care. He's going to keep supplying you with drugs, and you're gonna sell it for him, and he's gonna get the money. Why is Teddy doing this? Why is he flooding the hood with cocaine? So he can have money to fund the war with the Contras. Yeah, this is based on a true story, which is why it makes Snowfall so dope. So we all know Teddy's a ruthless piece of shit. He's all about the money. He's all about the war. You know what I mean? He's you know what I mean? He's gonna give you the coke. But what makes him really the ultimate piece of shit is, one, he stole $70+ million from Franklin, like easy, like it was nothing, like it was $5 on the counter. Give me that. He did that shit like no problem, and didn't lose any sleep over it. And what makes him, I ain't gonna lie, what makes him so worse, the best of the worst, you know what I mean? And why he's gonna win this category is because he killed Franklin Pops. Yo, he killed the man he's been working with, mind you. You know what I mean? He's been working with Franklin X amount of years, and then you go and you kill the man daddy. Now, I ain't gonna lie, Franklin daddy was getting out of pocket, you know what I mean? Because he was going on radio stations saying, you know, Teddy's name and shit like that, and his real name, you know what I mean? So he's blowing him up. So I guess Teddy had no choice, but he did that shit and didn't lose sleep, neither. Pulled up on Franklin Pops, popped him in Cuba. So when it comes to the worst law enforcement, Snowfall wins that. So it's 2 Wire, 2 Snowfall. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, what is the best season finale? Now, in the season finale, Marlo Stansfield gets off because he's facing multiple murder charges. He gets off for I guess I believe it was like a technicality or whatever. So Marlo's pretty much become like the new Stringer Bell at that point. Those who watch the show know what I'm talking about. He's in a suit. He's no longer in the streets of Baltimore. You know what I mean? I mean, it got so bad for Marlo that he was uncomfortable in the suit. He went back to Baltimore and tried to run up on some kids and ask the kids, "Do you know who I am?" You know what I mean? Just to get a taste of the street life again. Now, spoiler alert, because this one just happened recently. Franklin went out bad in that season finale, bro. Franklin went out so bad. From how he started to what he became to where he ended, it was heartbreaking. It's like, now you can understand why Franklin Farver had the issues that he had when he was a young man coming up in South Central. So Franklin pretty much went from drug kingpin to a person who was homeless, lost his house, and he's asking his best friend Leon, who we just spoke about, you know what I mean, for $20 to go get a bottle of 50 MD, like straight up. So when it comes to season finales, I ain't gonna lie to you, man, Snowfall got the season finale. So it's 3 for Snowfall, 2 for The Wire. That's 3 for Snowfall, 2 for The Wire. All right. Who's the best kingpin in The Wire? Now, in The Wire goes through like different eras. There was the Avon Barksdale era, and then they had the one where it was the white dudes, Frank Sabaka, and then it was the Marlo era. Now, the reason I didn't choose, well, first of all, Frank Sabaka is not even eligible for this, right? But the reason why I didn't choose the Avon Barksdale era is because honestly, it would have been no competition. You know what I mean? They would have got him up out of here. So I chose Marlo from The Wire versus Franklin. Now, Marlo was ruthless. Marlo was calculated as well. He was a thinker, you know what I mean? Marlo wasn't scared to hang around OGs to kind of learn game from them. Marlo, you know what I mean, was also a killer, you know what I mean? But when you watch the show, you notice he was a killer, but he would send most of the people that his second in command and Chris and Snoop and so on to go do those hits. Marlo on The Wire only was seen doing one hit, and that was when he felt the girl betrayed him, snuck up on the side of her, put 2 in the chest and 1 in the mouthpiece. You know what I mean? So you didn't see Marlo do a lot of killing, but Marlo was, you know, he busts his gun, but he also was sending a hit out of you. But he also was real a thinking man's gangster if you look back.
Marlo? You know I'm with Avon, right? String a bell? Can we talk?
I need you to walk back up there and pack up your people. I'm being a gentleman about it for the moment.
That lets you know that man's about business. Now, Franklin Franklin busts his gun. Franklin busts his gun all the way to the end of the show, of the season, of the series finale. I mean, you know, Franklin wasn't scared to put in that work. He really wasn't. I mean, he shot his girlfriend father. He shot Teddy's father. Remember how I told you Teddy shot his father? Well, Franklin got revenge. Then he got Franklin's father. He got Teddy's father up out of there. So he was also another thinking man. You know what I mean? Play chess, not checkers type of kingpin. You know what I mean? But he was greedy. I ain't gonna lie. One thing that Marlo was greedy about power, but Franklin was greedy about money. You know what I mean? So both men had greed, but on a different level. So I ain't gonna lie. Right now, it looked like these two men are tied. The only reason we're going with Marlo for this one is because the way, like I said, for the season finale, the way that Marlo went out. Marlo went out on top. Yo, Franklin did.
You my best friend. Best friend I ever fucking had. And I'm fucking proud of you. You hear me?
Did it. So with all that being said, I'm giving that to Marlo. That's Wire 3 and that's Snowfall 3. Okay, so who had the best villain, right? Let's get into best villain. Now, we're going to go Omar from The Wire and we're going to go Scully from Snowfall. Now, Scully from Snowfall was a problem. He was a maniac, you know what I mean? Scully was, I wouldn't even say that he busted his gun, but I mean, he was just like left field with it. He was a psychopath for real. Those who watch the show know what I'm talking about. Scully was on one. You know?
We're so spirit.
Through God, we shall do valiantly, for it is He that shall trample down our enemies.
But however, if we're being honest about it, he's not even close to Omar. Yo, Omar could walk down the block, people dropping bag of money, bag of dope at his feet. Sometimes he didn't even have to lift his gun because his name just rung bells. You know what I mean?
Check it out. Here it comes.
Something ain't right, yo.
Watch out, man. Here come that fool. It's packing. Here he comes.
Yo, son, come on. Yo, Omar coming, man. Oh, shit.
I mean, and think about this, yo, which is real funny and trippy. Yo, Omar was gay. Omar was like purely into dudes, bro, and no one cared. That's how gangster Omar was, bro. You know what I mean? No one gave a shit because his gangster was gangster, no matter who he was having sex with. So, yo, when it comes to this one, honestly, Scully was a psychopath, but he is nowhere in the realm of Omar. So we're going to have to give The Wire and the landslide Omar. So I believe that's 4, and I believe that's 3. And if I'm messing the count up like the dudes used to do in the dope house sometimes, I'm going to get it right on the editor's note. Okay, so who had the most cultural impact? I ain't going to lie to you. The Wire wins on this one as well. Because even though Snowfall was good, and it was kind of loosely based off the life of Freeway Rick, Rick Ross, the real Rick Ross, and his life, and how, you know, he was given cocaine by people who worked in the CIA to front the war that America had, you know, in the Contra Iran affair and all that stuff like that. So it was based off like a true story loosely, you know what I mean? But there's no question that The Wire had more of a cultural impact because, to me, my opinion, hood shows or whatever you want to call it wasn't done as well as this. You know, we had The Sopranos, which it highlighted gangster life, but it like had nuances to it. It had character development into it. It just, you know, it was just ebbed and it flowed and like and you got caught into it and it had a story. The Wire was the first one that had people of color, you know what I mean, kind of having stories similar to its white counterparts. And I believe because of this, because of what the creator of The Wire did, that people wasn't scared to take risks afterwards to make shows like this because they seen that it could be done in this fashion, and it could be received well. So if I had to pick which one had a bigger cultural impact, it would be The Wire. And if I'm messing up the count, I promise I'll put it on editor's note. But I know The Wire won, but I think The Wire won 5-4, 5-3. I don't know. I fucked up the count. I'll get it right at the end. I told you, baby, I'm on 6 more days. I'm on an airplane, baby. All right, so let's get into message of the day. What is the message of the day? Today, my message of the day, I try to make them motivational and deep. Today's not going to be too deep. Today's not going to be like, hey, man, listen, to find oneself, you must first reflect in the mirror. And none of that shit. Today's message of the day is have a sense of humor. Guys, life is short. Life is short and time goes by so fast. Have a sense of humor. Guys, we are all some sort of celestial beings that are inhabitants of a big round ball that gets warmed up by some big ass thing we call the sun in the middle of the sky with other planets and stuff like that. And it's been around for some people say thousands, some people say billions of years. And if you're lucky, you'll get a good 80 years out of them. Now, like I just said, I talked about my father-in-law who passed away. I talked about Harry Belafonte, talked about Jerry Springer. I'm pretty sure like time went by quick for these gentlemen as well before they passed away. So guys, while you're here, while you're still alive, have a sense of humor. Yeah, life can be serious. It really can. But sometimes you got to see this shit for what it is. And sometimes this shit is just hilarious. It really is. Life is a trip, my friends. So enjoy the ride while you can, while you still have time. Try to see the humor in things. Sometimes you can't, because sometimes shit just calls for the serious, focus to be on. But for the most part, man, have a sense of humor about some of this stuff. Don't take things that can be taken not too seriously. Don't take them too seriously. If it's not about your family, if it's not about your health, trust me, man, it'll all pass. Life is short, guys. Have a sense of humor. Lighten the hell up. That is my message of the day. My good people, today is Saturday, is April 29th. It is cloudy outside again in New York City, but I don't care because the Knicks are playing tomorrow in the second round of the playoffs. So no matter what the weather is outside, baby, it's orange and blue skies in my mind. You know what I mean? As always, I'm asking you, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscription button, make sure you hit the notification bell, all that YouTube stuff. And I promise you, I will come back from vacation with stories for you, my good people. As always, as I do every time I close a show, I want you to go out there, be the best version of yourself that you can. And remember, love yourself, love others, and more importantly, love God. My good people, my name is Marcus. I'll see you for number 13. Peace.